Hello and welcome to the newest edition of Get to Know Your Tennessee District Deputies. I am your host, Justin LaGrange. We are very privileged to have with us today one of the great district deputies here in Tennessee. Worthy, thank you so much for joining us today. Please introduce yourself and tell us the
Yeah.
council and the districts that you represent.
Oh, hey, Justin. My name is Tex Shellhart. I'm District Deputy 11, and so I represent 4563, which is Murfreesboro, 9168, which is Smyrna, 9586, which is St. Edwards. Uh, our Our Lady of Guadalupe Council, and St. Mary's of Myanmar, and St. Catherine in McMinnville. So six councils total.
Great. Now, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself.
Um, so I am the oldest son of three brothers. I grew up as a teenager in the 1980s, which was the greatest decade to grow up in. So musically, I'm really enjoy the hair metal bands and heavy metal rock and roll. Um, Pretty heavy influence then. I graduated college from Murray State University with a degree in finance. My first job out of college was actually working in a manufacturing plant in supply chain. I've been working now in supply chain for about 28 years, and all of it in manufacturing and supply chain in some form or fashion. I joined the Knights of Columbus in 2003, and I became a fourth degree knight in 2017.
Great. Now, how did you becoming a district deputy come about, and what made you want to accept the position?
Um, so I was asked to become a district deputy by Michael McCusker when he was our incoming state deputy. But I was ready for it. I wanted to help Knights, because that's one of the things about the Knights of Columbus that I've learned in becoming a knight is that I have a servant's heart, that I really want to serve and I want to help others. And that includes helping other knights become better at serving others. I was a little bit curious to see what other councils do in their programming and how they function. And so that was a great opportunity. And becoming a district deputy is really the perfect role for someone who wants to help others and who really wants to have a bigger impact into their district.
Great. And maybe tell us a little bit about what you think makes your district and maybe each council. Tell us a little bit about each council and what you think makes them stand out from the rest of the councils in the state.
So, District 11, one thing that's not unique about District 11 is that it's grown kind of as an expansion, right? As Nashville grew, Catholic churches around the surrounding areas grew, and the same men kind of started out as a base council and then they branched out into other councils. And so you'll find many of us, started at one council and moved on to another one. That's probably not unlike councils across the state. But what makes us unique is that the district is very active. And so when Habitat for Humanity has a build house, you'll see knights, not just from one council, you'll see them from two, three, four councils. When Tennessee Right to Life, right, a pro-life bowling event, you'll see members from other councils there as well. And as you start to see these people, you establish friendships, you establish a bond, things become friendly, and sometimes things become competitive. There are some competitive relationships between our councils when it comes to things like soccer challenge and the free throw challenge. We want our kids. We want to have the most kids with the most wins. Other times, when there are fish fry, we want to brag to each other about how much fish did we cook, right? But it's kind of at the end of the day, we're all just real men living out our real faith, trying to make a real difference, right?
Absolutely. And, as we kind of close here, thank you so much for joining us. I know we've been trying to sit down and do this for a little bit, so appreciate you sitting down with us. Is there any special programs or special events that any of your councils do that you want to kind of highlight?
Yeah, St. Rose has had some success with a food pantry project here lately. And it's not a council project per se, but it's a project that really involves the church. And it started off with a simple, they purchased those recyclable, reusable bags, put the Knights logo on it. And at the back of church, they put a notice in the bulletin, but pick up a bag at the back of the church, and the food pantry needs hamburger helper, tuna fish, beans, green beans, and then fill up the bag and bring it back next week. And we've had overwhelming success in helping out restock the food pantry during times that they really need help.
Great. And, final question here. If you had to pick one thing, what would you say is your favorite part about being district deputy?
The favorite thing about being a district deputy has to be the friendships. I feel like I wouldn't have established some of these friendships that I've been able to really foster as a district deputy, not just at being involved with the councils that are in my district, but also with the involvement at the state level. There's some great people out there, very much like myself, and so it kind of makes you feel good that at any point we can sit down, have a nice dinner, have a great conversation, and we don't have to do it every day.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, brother. We appreciate all the hard work that you do for your district and the state. I know you're involved in not only your district, but in the state. So thank you again so much for sitting down with us and for all the hard work that you do.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Justin.